Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War Rohan No Deaths run, where the goal is to complete our campaign objectives while keeping every faction on the map alive. And as promised, I am showing you the smoldering wreckage of one of Tharbad's settlement, Ether Barain. After the last episode, we were attacked, or at the end of the last episode, we were attacked by an army outside, and so we managed to defeat them. This was a very straightforward fight, involving mostly some archers and cav against some skirmishers, really. It was nothing to write home about, but we did it. What is far more interesting to me, however, at the moment, is that we are being sallied against in our siege against the Pukel men of the western shore of the White Mountains here. So here's what we're looking at. Druidine warriors. And we are going to be fighting this one. We've got a ton of cavalry. We'll see how this goes. These are technically a skirmish unit, and so they're going to be, they're going to be effective if they can get their javelins off. But we've got enough cav that I think we should be able to push them so that they're going to withdraw for a while. Hopefully we can inflict enough casualties on them while they're running. But they're going to be sallying, so this is going to change the calculus a little bit. The one advantage to this is that because of the nature of sally battles, there's no trees immediately surrounding settlements. And so they're not going to get their forest advantage in that case. We do have a few skirmishers here, so let's go up a little bit. It's just a wonderful little unit. Almost an Easter egg, really, in the game. It's of course, perfectly, lore-friendly to have them. But you almost never see them unless you're playing, the Reunited Kingdom, Rohan, Dunland. And there's just a lot of them here. And again, they can be surprisingly effective. Over here, though, let's go. We've got some Druidane warriors. We've got some Gondorian hillmen. I think we can get our spear-armed cavalry over here to pretty good effect. Oh, we've got some more. Oh, we've got bowmen. That's what that is. So these guys are doing good work. We are, in fact, routing. But check it out. They've got spears as melee weapons too. So this is gonna cause some damage to us. There goes the enemy general. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be just about the end. We are routing a massive number of them over here. All right, so this is going this is going just fine. The last hunt of the Pukel men on the part of the Rohirrim. This is the only such place where they can be found. Now, I don't think there are any more out in the wilderness here. I think there's basically 6 units in the settlement. I do not believe they can be retrained or trained even by the rebel faction. So once these guys are gone, they're gone. So we've got a victory in another settlement that I wasn't exactly expecting to get, but it's kind of nice. We'll definitely lay desolate here. This is going to be a very unhappy settlement for us. But we do have a competent governor, potentially for a husband. He's mature. He is intelligent. He is the kind of guy who I would like for a governor, I guess. He does not get any of the benefits from being an Aorling, but honestly, they're not that spectacular governors anyway, from what I recall. So let's see where he has come of age. Okay, it's our capital. Alright, we'll decide where to send him. I mean, we could leave him at the Hornburg just to get trained up. That's a pretty safe place for a new governor, actually. But that brings us up, with the capture of those 2 settlements, up to 30 provinces, which is pretty respectable. We need a total of 40, and we've got a bunch more on our plate for today. Part of that is going to come from the Bjornings, who are now our enemy. I don't know that we're going to get any settlements of theirs today, but the fact that they declared war on us in the last episode really opens up a bunch of territory, potentially, all around here. Now, the Brownlands are taken by the Bjornings. They've not moved into the East Bight, but they still have the Eastern Greenwood, and they've got all their territories here. In addition, it looks like they've moved west of the river to take the Gladden Vales. Possibly, there's an orc hold up here. Let's see, do they have that? No, that's still in the hands of the rebels, the Gladden Heights. And we should be getting a high pass stronghold relatively quickly after they declared war by attacking us here, I think, or we definitely fought them there. And we took out a big stack. So if we can just take this settlement without a fight, keep our army intact, then we can move it into Old Fort, hopefully before they retrain another giant stack. Never mind. Yeah, the Bjornings, they're going to be able to train a lot of guys. And so that is going to be a problem. They can just overwhelm us. So to that end, we need to keep going. In terms of training, I think archers are going to be really helpful for us. We're not going to want to completely ignore infantry. I'll get 4 of those, and let's just keep going with archers. That does not get us up to 70%, unfortunately. So what's the problem there? Do I have a good governor I could put in? No, he made things worse, so we'll take him right out. Well, we'll just have to hope for the best there. The Wold is, of course, one of our settlements that we had from the very beginning of the campaign. I think we got a spy inside. Yeah, 80% unrest. That's definitely what's going on. We've got our own scout, but he's just not good enough, apparently. So, after a while, hopefully that will right itself. I mean, our capital is at the Hornburg. So actually, maybe we can let's keep him at the Hornburg. I thought he was at Edoras, but we'll keep him right here. We've actually not had a governor here in a very long time. It would be nice to get some extra income out of that. But yeah, we'll have to give some thought to this. I think obviously we're going to keep training in the Wold. We do have some men here at Aldburg, and so we're going to start moving them north right now. We don't really have a lot elsewhere, at least just yet. But what we do have, we can start bringing. And the big question will be, what are they going to do next? Are they going to just keep hitting us from Fairfeld? That would kind of be okay if we can, get this settlement. These would be pretty friendly places for us to hold. We need 10 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that would be 8. And then a couple more, if we can hold everything. Where obviously we can't take this, because we can't eliminate Dunland. But we could theoretically get like this Orc hold for one of the last ones. Or maybe grab 1 or 2 off of Tharbad, just because they're our enemy anyway. And, we can't eliminate the Bjorning, so we have to be a little bit careful about this. But I think it'll be just fine. So let's just cruise around and see what needs to be done. Our new settlement by the sea here is looking pretty happy at a 95% public order on low taxes, and we can go right on ahead for provincial pacification. This has basically nothing in terms of development. Now, the other thing that I'm a little worried about here is the Reunited Kingdom. They're my ally, but now they've got nothing else to do in the area. They're just up against me. There's no rebels. And so this army, we may see this army moving. I'm not sure if they're going to go for us or if they're going to move away, or if it's just going to stay there forever, but we're going to see some movement, I think, pretty soon, and it could be bad, although it could, again, be an opportunity in disguise. So us taking that could be a good thing. We got 6 turns for Dunfata. Let's check out Ether Bahrain. Oh, this looks very bad. 65% might be doable. We want to keep the Dominion building here and everything else, and then hope that we can, get our public order under control. But one thing we might do is take the governor out. He is inept, so that's causing some penalties. And actually, that fixes it, gets it right to 70. Garrison is providing 80% public order, which means we can get away with getting some of these guys out. Of course, it's hard to tell how many we can deal with. I think I want the expensive guys to get out, right? But let's just take a bunch. Okay, we can live with 70% public order with just a couple of beat-up spearmen inside, and so I'm happy to do that. We may have another army of Tharbad somewhere in the region. We do have mercenaries we could grab at a pinch. But I think what I'll do here is go for Vornhallen immediately. Let's put that under siege. We'll build a couple rams and just wait. So this is their heir. They may sally, but I'm pretty confident we can deal with it. We've got enough cav that we can deal with this unit, and the archer we can just, shoot down. One weak part of our front is right at Last Bridge here, where we share a border with Tharbad, who has a pretty large force in the area with some Lossoth warriors from the far north. So if they turn around and decide to attack Last Bridge, we don't have a lot of men. We've got a lot of archers. We do have some shields of the Mark and axes of the Mark, and a family member governing. But the bulk of our army is over here at the High Pass Stronghold. So with that said, that front is looking pretty bad. The front over here is looking stable, and so I think it's just going to continue to hold. We're just going to end the season and see what happens. All right, there comes an army of the Bjornings. And I don't know if we're going to be able to get our forces over there in time. One thing that we could theoretically do is bring some of these guys over into the west. They would be doing a lot of surprise damage, I would think, of the Bjornings' eastern territories. We could sneak them over there. But removing any armies from around here seems really dangerous when we have so many forces of our enemies around us. And this guy, I mean, Rune has been surprisingly restrained throughout the campaign. But I don't expect that to hold forever. Fortunately, Dale and Rune seem to be trading this territory back and forth, so that's a good thing. We do have some agents over here that are giving us some line of sight. I'm not sure what that would be. Possibly the Emissary of Dale, or maybe the Reunited Kingdom, or someone has a spy over here, because we do share line of sight with them. In any case, we can see that Mid-Deeping looks pretty unprotected. There's a half stack in there, but it must be very badly beaten because the banner is very small. So if we can beat this army, this looks certainly like the next big challenge we'll have to deal with. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that in time, as I've said, to make a big difference. But let's see. Let's get everybody out of here. True to lore, there are no mercenaries in the Mark. There are no mercenaries in Rohan anywhere. And it's great. It's great because it's lore accurate. But at times of emergency like this, it would be kind of nice to have some mercs. But we'll just keep training our own men. Let's see. I think I would like some more tough units. Rittermark spears, again, are very nice because they're effective against armor. The Bjornings do have some somewhat armored units, and so it would be good to have some really nice charge. And we've got another unit there, but, you know, more is always good. This is approaching a full stack, though. But we can't stop training now, so we just have to keep all of this up. I think I'll go with some levies, actually. We've got a ton of this cav. Let's go with some Rittermark scouts for some horse archers. And over here, same thing. We'll train up a bunch of horse archers out of there. Okay, Dunhold is still holding in terms of public order. We got 5 seasons for that before we have to change our mind or you know, decide what to do. Because what we're trying to do, you know, in theory, is get them to become a protectorate. And, you know, we're making, you know, over 100,000 now. We are losing some cash because of the training and building, but we could get them to that point. I'm not sure exactly what that is. And the mercenaries I should have picked up probably back in this territory. Well, what's going to happen this turn is probably we're going to get the high pass. All right, no surprises there. Fortunately, they're not attacking us immediately, because if they had a spy in, I'm just realizing they could have done an immediate assault. Okay, so this is the garrison army, as we've already seen. The attacking army is more the same. So I will welcome this fight. And we've got a nice rainy day. Not going to matter too much. We've got archers and a line, sort of. But really our strength here is going to be from the cav. So the... Let's see, the garrison is somewhere behind us. I guess the terrain is kind of irrelevant here. It's pretty flat and open. And, you know, they're trying to move around that way. What I want to do, I guess, here is get my archers over. This army is just spearmen and scouts. And the scouts are simply javelin men. So very short range. Dangerous if they can throw. But I don't want to use my cavalry just yet. I want to save them for the merchant guard unit that's theoretically coming our way, although I can tell he's holding back. Yeah, he's not coming on. So we may not get the town after this, which is kind of fine. if I were to take the town right now, my public order everywhere would be a little worse. So what I can do is beat these armies. I think I even want to... Yeah, they're routing already. Let's go take out the Mariner Bowmen. These Rhydor Spearmen are pretty much pushovers. If you've got anything like even numbers. Now, that said, I've also got a scary family member unit. So that's playing a role too. We're going to get in. They're going to get one shot off, it looks like, at our cav, but we're going to wipe them out. And then we'll see what this unit does. It looks like they're marching forward now. I wouldn't mind if they went back into the city, honestly. But it looks like they're coming on. So what I would want to do then... Right, let's just halt everybody. We've got archers who are going to shoot those guys down. And then once that's done, we'll bring the archers back, since they're not doing any more shooting. I kind of want to keep my spearmen as, garrison. And I'm going to want my archers on skirmish for sure. So probably engage with my axes. Or pull with my archers. Just get in position to charge with my cav. All right, let's actually see if we can do a charge. And was that us or was that them? That was them. Okay. The air is down. I guess we're taking the city after all. Well, that was a surprisingly effective charge. His unit would... the general himself, the model, right? The captain or the general, whatever... would have been on the left-hand side of the formation, so that really was, I guess, just the right spot to charge. He possibly also had a bunch of negative traits, which, hurt his hit points and so on, so that may have played a role. Oh, and we've got a Sally over here, and I really don't want to fight trolls. So, I'm gonna withdraw. We took Vornhollen. I'm going to see if that army gets eliminated. I'm hoping I can go back, a tile or two. So it's good. So we've got the army preserved. We are not dealing with high pass stronghold. I just don't want to deal with trolls. I don't want to. I'll take this guy. And he is at the Hornburg, so let's get him over into the Wold. Yeah, competent commander. I'm going to give him the Black Horn. So this is good for troop morale. Might be useful against the Bjornings. We'll take a horse archer with him. Alright, and they've got us under siege. So I think we're going to... this is going to be the second line of the muster pretty much. Let's bring these guys around. We're going to get some Rittermark spears in a moment. And what's here? We got some levies. So, let's see, we can bring almost a full stack to this army. Inside, we've got some archers and levies, and this is led by a captain. They've got a couple of their tougher units, the Bjorning Axemen, and they've got some cav, but not a huge amount, and they've got only 2 archers. So that's looking pretty good, actually. They don't have any dogs. Let's check the news, though. Right, we gave away that. We took the marriage. Alright, the Bjornings and Tharbad are allies. That's very reasonable. And then we did a bunch of training. Some lordships. Lost about 5 grand. Captured Vornhollen. So before I forget, actually, let's go and see this. How is this going? Oh, it's absolutely terrible. So this might be a situation where we take it now and we just leave and come back to deal with it later. Let's take the army out. I mean, there's no point. Yeah, it's not like the governor was hurting things that badly. I'm going to go ahead, though, and just make some money back by destroying that Dominion building. And then we'll lose this to rebellion. The penalty from destroying a Dominion building will be gone. We've got no more Tharbad troops in the area, and now we've got a free kind of army. It's not like anything to write home about, but it's an army that has a family member that can accomplish something. We might just keep him in the area to take this back for when the time is right. But we have to wait a little bit. We'll get this built up. Public order is looking pretty decent otherwise. I think we just need to keep training these guys until we've got a blue face. So 4 more seasons. Okay, yes, So Arundel had rebelled. That's actually really good. And we're seeing movement of a big army down here. They're no longer around. So what do I do with Cow and Druin? Do I take the settlement? I've got a lordship here. Public order is just fine. I think I'll keep the army here. I'm a little worried about it, but if the Reunited Kingdom looks like they're aggressive, then it would be good to have those forces around. So now I think we're going to go deal with the Bjornings. And yeah, let's grab our other unit of levies. And this looks very even. So in this army, we've got a lot of light stuff. Where's the Bjorning army? Okay, yeah, they're up on the hill. All right, they do have a few units of archers, but I don't think I was in a position to really do any flanking of them anyway. Let's head up here, and we'll get into position. Oh, my reinforcements have arrived. These are the... Oh, no. These guys are under my control. They're in the city. We're actually, taking out some of their Woodman riders. We're doing surprisingly well against them. Our archers are fleeing. But it's always nice to get rid of a unit of riders. Unfortunately, they're not sending their big, scary axemen after us. We're gonna get beaten back here in a moment, though. These Woodman axes are probably gonna be able to wipe us out. But look at these Woodman riders. Again, this is a unit that is surprisingly good. You just need you need a few of them, but they're pretty cheap. I like all of the Bjorning units, and they don't have spears, so you may sort of discount them in terms of being a charge unit. They're certainly not as effective as some other Lancers, but, I mean, look at that. We just wiped them out. But they're very good in certain ways. And, one of those is en masse. Just send them in to start clubbing at, pretty much anything that moves. But, I mean, look at all those horses we killed. I think that was ultimately worth it, even though I completely did not think of it. And look at this. Wow. That must have been the bowmen just shooting this unit. Okay. Just going on autopilot because I did not have them set to AI control, but I may as well have. So we're about as high up the hill as we can get now. I'm thinking we're going to want to send up the archers first. And pretty much like this, too. Keep them in a couple of lines. That will give a slight bit of insurance to at least some of them, rather than sending them forth in a single line, which can be overrun and pushed back pretty easily. So we'll move up some of our cav. I'm going to group up these lancers. We've got basically just a good line of Rohan spears. On the left, we've got those javelin-armed Rohan riders. I'm going to group these guys up as well. Alright, I said I wasn't going to have them be in a big line, but when it's archer against archer, you want to just have numbers. But now we're getting Woodman axes in on it. Now, this army does not have a general. It's only got a captain. So we're going to just sort of entice them forward, get them to run away, shoot them in the back. So because this army does not have a general, a family member, we're going to be hurting their morale a lot more than we would otherwise. So I think this could be an extremely effective fight for us. We've got enough archers. The AI is being, you know, like it is. We've got enough archers to do a ton of damage. And we've got enough cavalry to kind of protect those archers, given the units we're facing. We've also got our Rittermark spears back here. I kind of don't want this guy at all involved in the fight. In fact, let's get all of you guys just out of any kind of group. Alright, and bring the bowmen forward slightly. So yeah, here they come, bit by bit. Let's see if they're gonna get... Nope. Are they gonna pursue? Some of them might. But I'm happy to charge into these guys. Yeah, see, they're routing a little sooner than they normally would, although this is a tier 1 unit. The Bjorning Axemen, it looks like there's really only 2 serious units of those that we have to worry about. This is a smaller one. But they're a really good unit. One of my favorites, actually. I love how they look. Alright, here comes the Cav. So let's do a charge of Lancers. Let's go after these Woodman Axes. And let's charge into those guys as well. And after the Bjorning Axemen with the General and the Rittermark Spears. You guys can hit the right. Looks like we got a very nice route going up on the left. Here comes my center. Oh, it looks like they're going after these Bjorning Axemen, which is actually fine. Oh, they're holding out quite well, actually. Let's focus then. Fire on the Woodman Riders. The captain's routing. Woodman Bows are routing. Bjorning Axemen are losing, but holding. Let's send the general in. Oh, he took a bunch of losses in that charge. They're wavering, though. Just a very, very cool unit. I really like the Bjornings as a faction, you know, to play, because they're just dead simple. Sometimes I'm in the mood for something more complicated, you know, and sometimes you're not. With the Bjornings, the beauty of their units is there's none of this special ability stuff. Again, sometimes I love that, right? Like, if you're dealing with Rune, you've got War Cry. Okay, so this is a mistake, getting our Rittermark Spears in a melee here without support, but it works out. You know, with some of you've got War Cry. With Rune, for example, the Axemen, or even more to the point, Dunland's units, which can both throw javelins and War Cry, and so you have to decide which you're going to do, because you can't do both at the same time. And if you know what I mean. So there's a lot of micromanaging to sort of deal with, but with the Bjornings, none of that. No War Cry, no special abilities, no javelins. They're just scary, and they're just good at, at the upper tiers, the Bjorning Axemen, the general unit. And so you just get a bunch of those units together, line them up for a good charge, and throw them in. And if it works really quickly. And if it fails, if you don't get that quick success, you need to turn it around very fast with some flanking or whatever. So it's fun. It's sort of a very high risk, high reward kind of play style. So I'm always a big fan of that. All right, so we're running into some of those public order problems yet again. I suppose I could start filling up this settlement. There we go. And we'll retrain those later, and then this army can go right up to Fairfeld. This will be tough for the Bjornings to support. They're not going to travel through Elven territory to do it. And so that means as we progress north, if we can contain them here, like keep this under siege for a while, or ultimately take it. I'm a little worried about taking it, though, because that opens us up to the Rovanian even more than we are. But we can pretty much head up here without having to worry about anything on either side. Now with this army, the problem now, because I don't want to deal with the trolls. I could just continue to have this under siege, I suppose. Just perpetually siege it. This is the capital. This is their new heir. So theoretically, I could take this, and then this would be another settlement which would not open up a new front necessarily with Tharbad, because, you know, I have a border with them now. I would still have one border with them later. The problem with taking this is simply that we would be up against the Dunabar, and I don't want to have to worry about them. So I guess we'll just stay here in Last Bridge, and I think what my policy here is just going to be keep this under siege forever. Yeah, I'll build some stuff, you know, in case I feel like assaulting or auto-resolving an assault maybe. But I don't want to fight trolls, and I don't want the Bjornings to have this. And I think I've shown that I can hold off the Bjornings if they want to try that again, attack me up here. The ground is pretty favorable, so I think that's what we'll do. And down around Habad, things are, again, looking fairly stable. Farharad is holding its own. Tharbad is also holding its own. In fact, Farharad looks like it's going on the march. They've got the Umbar headland under siege, so I may have to give them a bit of a check if they are going to, you know, eliminate Harad entirely. As we've seen, basically, Harandor owns all of this. Farharad still owns some territory out here, but Harandor has been doing fairly well. Khand has also grabbed a bunch. But I'm a little worried, you know, if anybody, I'm worried about Harad right now. So I need an army around here just so they don't get completely wiped out. All right, we've got our Dominion building ready at Cowendruin. So we'll go for that immediately. That's obviously going to cut into our income. But we're holding fairly steady, over 100,000. 3 more seasons and we'll try for Protectorate status again. Now there is a loose army of Tharbad. It's probably nothing. I'm going to get my spearmen over to it. We'll hit it with this army just to see what it is. It's just some light scouts. I don't really want to deal with it. I'll keep moving the army generally east. If they start anything, we'll take care of it. But probably they're just going to go up towards the northeast here. We're just doing some retraining around Woldburg, and then we'll be ready to head north. We're gathering also a decent stack around Entwade. So I think with these two forces, we'll be able to definitely cause some damage to the Bjornings. And yeah, that's our civil revolt over at Vornhallen. This is a tough settlement to take, I think, because it's Ways of Darkness, and you know, in terms of alignment, so that's going to make it just tough to hold for a faction like us. That's really more of a place that's in line with Dunland, I guess. What's this? Yes, that's our civil revolt there, which again is fine. And our king has departed Middle-earth. He's the one up here. He had another nobleman in the army, so he's going to be taking over for the king. And our new king is Holdwine, who is governing Garth. I really don't like how this is just a marching ground for other armies. But they're having a really difficult time, either of these factions, holding Gwaithring, which is nice and encouraging. You know, one thing that might be interesting is to get this for myself, gift it to North Rune, and see what kind of chaos ensues. But it seems not something I'm really interested in trying right now. Okay, so Dunharrow, we just got Captain's Feasts. Let's see what that allows us to do. Okay, that's going to get us some recruitment. So this is just another way for us to get light cavalry in the field. I'm going to go ahead and train a few. We've got a lot of population here, actually, so we may as well use it for something. And we're going to bring these guys over. Oh, we've got some more light cav we need to bring, actually. We'll just keep them all together. And yeah, this is a pretty respectable, you know, kind of half stack of cav. We've got this levies unit. I'll keep it there for now. We'll deal with that later. But meantime, let's see. We'll bring the archers out so they can be retrained in Woldburg. And then we'll grab all these units if they will fit. And we can indeed bring a couple more. And then we'll head north. So it looks like the main armies of the Bjornings are coming down towards us. The Wold, though, does have some decent hills, I think. It's always a little hard to tell exactly what kind of terrain you'll be fighting on. That looks like we're at the top of a hill, though. So I think I'm going to go with that. And then we do have to keep the pressure up in terms of training. Let's go with something a little more interesting. I think Shields of the Mark would be nice to have on the east, at least in theory. Yeah, let's go with some axes down here. The United Kingdom is still holding on, or still attempting to get Arundel. And then next season, we're going to have to check out Dunhold, or Dunland, just to check in with them again, see if they've changed their ways. Now it may turn out that the high pass is just going to fall at some point. So maybe we won't need to actually fight them, which would be all right. You know, we could get another settlement, maybe hold it, although it's difficult with those orc holds, unless you keep kind of a garrison there, it seems. But this would theoretically give us access to the Anduin, and since it doesn't look like the Bjornings are clustered around here, we may get kind of a sneak attack on Old Ford. But it's hard to tell. There's so many woods, and this could be an absolutely nasty surprise if we get an ambush over here. Okay, it looks like they are attempting to get down into Elven territory, so this could cause a war if there's not one already. There is not, so they could be at war with the elves pretty quickly. Getting on Elven territory is kind of a sure way to start a war. So where are you going? Down to Lathron, maybe? All right, this feels like a trap. It's definitely possible for an army to be in ambush right here at the ford, but if I attack this army, beat it, and attack this, this army shows up as reinforcements, I could get Fairfeld immediately. Let's send the agent over as a scout. He's actually a literal scout, so... Okay, there's no spies in the woods. There's a lot of cav. A whole lot of cav, and a noble. Alright, I kind of think I want to do this. Let's do that. We'll bring the spy back here. Get into the trees, attack that army. And yeah, so this is our... I think this is the first time fighting a Bjorning Guard unit. A really, really cool unit again. But in terms of their other stuff, it's all... It's a lot of cav, and that is going to be... We'll see how we are at dealing with it. But I'm thinking if they're on the defense, that may give us the opportunity to be the ones charging in. All right, the city's going to be off to our left somewhere, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's where the reinforcements will be. Let's get our Lancers in the front. These guys are over on the left. And we'll keep the Rittermark spears right near the general. Maybe spread him out a little bit too. We do have more of a line this time around. Levies, axes, and then we've got archers in the back. This is actually very, very reasonable, I think. Alright, so we're just going to proceed one group at a time. Now, they're going to come through the trees. Hopefully not too fast, but I'm not going to count on it. Their units are actually capable of moving very quickly because a lot of them are large, like larger than life, and they do, as we've seen, have a lot of cav. So they could get over here quickly and ruin our plans. We need to destroy this army fast. And then turn and destroy this one. So 6 units of cav here, and here are those Bjorning Guard. Love the unit. It's still got that sort of Bjorning flavor, right, with the furs and everything. But a little bit of armor too. But I also like the style. It's sort of a mix between, I don't know, like, it looks very Old Testament to me in a way. Like it's got sort of this Anglo-Saxon-ish vibe with the mail, maybe, but also like what you see in old school pictures of Goliath or something. So there's just a really neat vibe to that unit, and maybe I should focus on the battle, I guess. I guess we could do that. All right, so we've got woodman axes. Let's send our infantry pretty much straight ahead and tie up their infantry. See if their cavalry takes the bait. We've got some routing already. Oh, yeah. These riders, man, I mean, they can be very effective. But they're also, they can be extremely vulnerable. Here's the general. All right, we've got some spears. I'm glad I engaged those with our infantry. Awesome. Okay, so let's not forget, we've got this other army. Looks like it's coming on. Okay, yes, actually. Let's get everybody in this group together. And we're gonna forget that. In fact, I'm not going to try bringing them all the way around to the left because I don't think they have time to get there. We'll just come over and you'll be on the right now. But if they charge forward, this could be kind of bad. We've got 6 more units of that cavalry to deal with, and if they're the ones charging, you know, again, they can do some damage. And in this army, they've got a family member. I'm going to ignore those spears for the moment. Alright, let's hit those woodman riders. Here's our javelin spear-armed guys. We've got our front line. Alright, let's hit the cav with the general. Rittermark spears. I think we're doing okay over here, but we do have Bjorning Guard that is ominously waiting. Okay, they're charging in. Let's get out. Oh, we're doing great, though. We'll just get out to sort of reform. Woodman Riders are winning on the left. I think I'm going to ignore it. Let's go and kill the general if we can. And you guys take out the bows. I think that horse killed the general. Yes. Okay. Nice. Alright, not much hope of catching these riders, so probably everyone can just pull away and let the archers do their thing. But I think that worked out pretty well. There goes Grim of the House of the Bear with all of his host. Oh no, they got enough of their guys away. Must have been those cavalry in the first army. Alright, well, enough of them survived, and this guy could turn around, potentially reach us. So that could be bad. Well, we'll get them nice and under siege, and hopefully we'll be able to attack them next time. Got some more units, so I think what I'm going to do is just start bringing these guys over. But I'm going to move this army here. I fully expect Grimbjorn of Langwijk there to turn around and start causing trouble up around Fairfeld. Okay, who do I want to leave behind? Probably the axes. Yeah, I think that's the way we want to do it. We've got, you know, more than a half stack already. And actually with these guys, it's all looking pretty reasonable all of a sudden. We've also got some cav here that I'm training, which I almost forget. So we're going to have, really, this is all replenished. I mean, this war is happening really close to our borders, of course. All right, under siege, 1 turn remaining, so we've got to try this. I don't think that there's any odds that we're going to get them to submit right now. Let's try it. Overlordship, all of our money. You know, the thing is, we've got, I think, less money now than we did the last time we tried. Yeah, they're going to deny. Okay. They've got a lot of family members, though, so I'm just going to keep them under siege. if they only had like one, one or maybe even two family members, I might be inclined to say, you know what, I don't want to risk you guys, like dying out completely. We'll move over back towards Vornhall, and I am going to retake that at some point. We're basically at 31 provinces. It's close enough. Everything looking very quiet here. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the Reunited Kingdom does. They could definitely go up here and start advancing up the river, which would be kind of unfortunate, because that would block access for myself. And up here, I've got to make some decision about this. I mean, I guess I don't. Things have been just fine over here. There's just... the armies floating around are too big for me to want to start any new wars. I'm neutral with everybody except North Rune, and North Rune could form a horde or be eliminated. Of course, I'm also at war with Dorwinion, but I don't want to eliminate these settlements and get a border with Dale. So I'm kind of stuck at the moment. Now, one thing I could do, actually, is build a boat. I don't know why it didn't occur to me before to do this, but we've got an island here. This is an island settlement. There's typically nothing going on this island settlement, and it is pretty happy to be part of the Northmen's territory, from what I recall. I think it's like a Northmen Ways of the West. I think the backstory behind it, in our minds at least, was that it was like maybe settled by people who are related to Dorwanian or something along those lines, rather than Easterlings. So okay, there's Lastbridge. All right. So this is going to be a place that I consider. Let's get an army over, or a ship rather. Okay, yeah, nothing's been done. Oftentimes the other AI factions will just leave this. Sometimes they won't, and so if you take it, you do have to be a little aware that Rune can land a boat there and contest it. But it's a pretty safe grab, all things considered. And yeah, we do have a siege at Lastbridge. So the decision now is, do we trust in the strength of our archers and shields of the mark to hold off against this army, which is probably, what do we have? Yeah, we got a lot of extremely light stuff. There's not a family member. There's not even any of their bowmen. And so we've got six almost full units of archers and two decent infantry units with a family member who is mature, but probably going to be around. I don't think he's going to die of old age. And these are some of the lowest tier units possible. These Losoth warriors can be strong, but they're a skirmisher unit, and if you can get your arrows into them, they're not going to be able to defend against that. The strongest unit they have here is probably the Tharbad militia. I mean, these guys are reasonable. All of these units can cause damage, but I think we're going to be okay. And I'm also noticing we were not attacked or put under siege by the Bjornings either at Woldburg or at Fairfeld. And so that big Bjorning army seems to have gone somewhere completely else. Not sure what's going on there. Grim Bjorn of Langwyke. Let's get the spy over. He could be in the trees somewhere being sneaky, but there it is. Okay. So he's back, probably a little bit worried because there was a big Reunited Kingdom army on his southern border. And we're approaching as well. I think what I want to do is really start getting towards the Brownlands so that I can make that mine. I don't want to have the Reunited Kingdom grab that without me being able to get over there as well. And so we've got some decent armies on the way, I think. And really, we're going to have some reinforcements in addition. So this is all looking quite nice. I think what we're going to do then in the next episode, folks, is probably get Fairfield. I think this is another one I'm going to do off camera here. We're just going to go ahead and get that siege queued up. Should be extremely straightforward with all the archers and the infantry that I do have. And then we'll have this, a very nice and fairly protected settlement. The elves are not going to give us any trouble. And then we'll basically have to watch for the Bjornings coming from here and from over here. And if we can get this army over into the east quickly enough, we can pick up some very nice mercenaries who are located here, and then take this for ourselves. I think that's the decision I've come to. We can take this. If Rovanian wants to attack us, bring it on, right? Because we've got an army over here that's got nothing to do. We could go back and forth and defend, Belagand if we have to. We could come down here if we have to. And this is really close to our centers of production. We can have a unit, pretty much a full stack of cav very quickly assembled to go into Rovanian. And that might be where we pick up the last few that we need to win after we've done cleaning up the Bjornings. But I've had a very good time here. Things are going okay, I think. And I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care.